When in 1963, the then Eastern Nigeria government established the Advanced Teachers Training College Owerri for the purpose of producing teachers for intermediate manpower level. Perhaps little did they know that mustard seed planted 60 years ago would snowball into one of Africa's reputable colleges of education. In his 6 decades of existence, Alvan Federal College of Education has been headed by several provosts, while Dr. Mrs. Stella Ngozi Lemchi is the 13th substantive provost and the 3rd in the federal dispensation of the institution. A passionate advocate for entrepreneurship education, the Himemba-born Dr. Stella Lemchi holds the Bachelor of Science, Master of Education, and Doctor of Philosophy degrees in Home Economics from the prestigious University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Stella Lemchi's wealth of experience in the college is no subject for debate, having served as the head of the Department of Home Economics, Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship Education, and the Deputy Provost of the college. A member of the Alvan Volunteer and Community Services, she has also served on several college committees, including the College Research Committee, Quality Assurance Committee, and Academic Board Business Committee. A recipient of several awards, the Afonzeribe Scholarship for Undergraduates of Imo State, 1988 to 1990. The Federal Government Scholarship Awards for Postgraduate Students, 1992 to 1993. And the Council for Development of Economics and Social Research in Africa, Kodesria Award for Thesis Writing for Postgraduate Studies, 1993 to 1994. Dr. Lemchi believes that education can play a vital role in developing the skills and knowledge that young people need to succeed in life. Her emergence as the Provost of Alvan Federal College of Education on the 25th of July 2022 to oversee the academic and administrative leadership of the college followed a keenly contested, rigorous, long and tedious process adjudged as most transparent. On assumption of duty as the Provost, Dr. Stella Lemchi set out her master plan anchored on the mantra, restoring and consolidating excellence in Alvan.
My mantra is restoring and consolidating excellence in the college. Alvan has been known as a primus inter pares, but over the years something happened, But I have the mantra to restore that excellence that we have always been known for. And we are working hard at that, and honestly speaking, we are achieving our aims. As soon as I came on board, I had a document, with which I attended the interview, the professorship interview. I call it my action plan. That action plan was where I outlined all I wanted to achieve within my tenure as a provost. And then I set out immediately. I scheduled a meeting. First of all, the CPDH, the Committee of Provosts, Deans, Directors, and Heads of Non-Academic Units. I put my plan on the table for everyone to know so that we can work together. Because if you don't carry people along, you can't do it alone. Yeah. So I wanted us to work together in synergy to achieve, the purpose of this administration.
The result of that synergy and commitment to excellence manifested in the level of achievements recorded by the Lemchi administration in just 1 year of becoming the Provost of Alvan.
After that, I went ahead to the next level, which is the Academic Board.
Perhaps her first major move was embarking on her first of its kind college-wide engagement and sensitization visit to all the schools, administrative units, and staff of the demonstration center, with a view to having a first-hand information about their challenges and prospects, while also calling for attitudinal change as a prerequisite for achieving the Alvan of their collective dream.
When we started this administration, we knew that the system was somehow down, and we wanted to work it up. We looked at the lateness to work, the kind of reports we were getting from students, how staff were extorting them for one thing or the other. And then when staff come to work, even those that come, they gather under trees, talking, gossiping, They don't want to do their work. Yeah. We said that we were going to change all that. And attitudinal change is not easy. So we decided to do what hadn't been done before in the college. And many of them were actually desirous of joining, cooperating to make sure that the college is better for it. And it's not been easy, because in a system where you want to fight corruption, fight the, normal way of doing things, like a discal attitude, and people will fight. But those that mean well for the system are greater in number, and they are really working towards achieving that aim of restoring excellence in the college.
Actually, it was an avenue, an opportunity for the management to actually interact and interface with all stakeholders in the college. So people were excited, people were happy. It was also an opportunity for us to hear firsthand from management. And questions were raised, and management, in her wisdom, were able to address such issues. So people were excited and they left home happily. It was no longer an issue of hearsay or rumor mongering, as the case may be. Okay,
when she called for, is it a kind of meeting? Yes, between the students and the lecturers. She addressed so many issues students are faced with. And you find out that it is only a woman who is a true mother in its nature that can do this. You understand? So she addressed both the textbooks, she addressed both issues with sorting, she addressed issues with hostel life. She addressed so many things.
We didn't want to hold a meeting in a particular place. We were going from school to school. as it is to find a convenient place for your school, let us meet with all the teaching and non-teaching staff in that school. Because every school, some schools have their own peculiar, issues. Yeah. So when we go there, we talk to them, looking at their peculiar circumstances. And they also tell us their challenges. Because the challenge of this School of Sciences may not be the same with School of Vocational Education. And we did that. It was very, very interesting. In fact, staff were excited that we could come to them. We should come down to their level, not waiting for them to come and tell us this and that.
An indirect effect of the town hall meeting and prompt management intervention and execution is that staff morale is now high, while indiscipline, tardiness, and corrupt practices are drastically reduced.
Tiered foods, because we're able to hear from them and also know their challenges.
Moved by her passion for academic excellence, the Provost digitized the process of result transfer from departments to the degree units using the college portal for transparency and enhanced efficiency. This is an addition to institutionalizing the hybrid model of teaching, blending in-person teaching with Google Class.
So I gained admission. I haven't experienced, I haven't been part of this Google Classroom setting education, but since our Provost came into sitting, we encountered the last semester. Almost all our courses was learned online, and I know it's really helped us, because if you travel and you are not in school, you can actually gain something. You can participate in the class, ask questions, do your assignments online. It was actually a great experience.
We were having difficulties in our portal. We had a very sluggish portal that students cannot do anything online. They cannot access their results online. They cannot even take CBT tests online. Everything was just as if it's back then. But now we can easily access our results online. We can take our CBT test online. Even in every environment you go around the school, automatically your phone connects with Wi-Fi, because there is steady supply of Wi-Fi now.
The establishment of the Directorate of Education Support Services.
Actually, in all the federal colleges of education, NCC minimum standard recommended the establishment of the Directorate of Education Support Services. And I want to tell you that our Provost, in her innovativeness, think if not the first college in Nigeria to establish the Directorate, because I don't think other people, other institutions where it is established have been calling me to get updates from us, what to do and what not to do. So I want to say that our provosts have done well to establish this directorate based on the 2020 minimum standard, and that's the first of its kind.
Perhaps one of the most applauded achievements of the Provost in the last 1 year is the attention paid the School of Education Demonstration Secondary School and the Early Childhood Care Demonstration Center to create an exceptional learning environment. This is evident upon her numerous renovation projects that have revitalized classrooms, restored the Early Childhood Care Demonstration Center, painting of the two-story staff primary school, and connection to EEDC to create a conducive teaching and learning atmosphere, as well as the massive flood control and other works at Alvan Model Secondary School, Owerri.
She is indeed a mother. When I called to her, I cried upon her, please, telling her that this school is not in order. This school is not in order. She came here, I invited her, she came and removed our daycare block. She received our nursery 2 block from asbestos ceiling to PVC, changed everything. She even helped us in renovating the outdoor playing equipments of the school. Even some of the doors in nursery 2 block was not good. She changed about 7 doors for us, or more than that. some chalkboards. She changed everything. She made sure that everything we requested for this school, she answers us. Whenever we call upon her, she answers us.
Our provost, Dr. Mrs. Stella Lemchi, did the drainage system. As you can see, everywhere is glittering. It's her action. When you call her, when we enter this place during rainy season, you cannot enter here. There was a time last year during admission, the first day, just one entered here. Their parents were crying, shedding tears because of flood everywhere. No, the students cannot live here. They waited till around 6 o'clock before they can live here. Then immediately she entered office. This is the first project she did. Immediately, 1-2 months after she entered, she started the renovation. She removed the roof, raised the building, then roofed the doors, the windows, the tiling, everything she did was done by her. The electricity equally, she did it.
I'm very happy with her, seriously happy with her. You know, or if you come in terms of physical development, she has renovated and upgraded most of the moribund buildings within the college. If you go to the primary section, for instance, we have a 3-duplex, a complex there. She renovated it, roofed the building, and repainted it, and they ensured that all the rooms became very viable and relevant for teaching. So that building, if you go there now, is somewhere there now. You see a new building, a massive building, standing. The same thing she did in our secondary school. In Sodes, we'll call it Alvan Model Secondary School. She also went there for the first time for many years, renovated a building that was discarded. Within a period of 4 months in office, that building was commissioned. And we started using it to admit students in secondary school. Same she did in nursery school. There was a section that, should house the nursery section, or what do you call them? That's the nursery, kindergarten. It was abandoned for several years. She came in and mobilized funds. Sometimes we in management, we wonder how she manages funds.
The Senate building also received the Provost's attention, with the total landscaping and interlocking of the surroundings, electrification, provision of overhead water tanks and stand to maintain proper distribution of water and its constant pressure and flow, while also furnishing the offices. The 1 year in office of Dr. Lemchi cannot be complete without a mention of the college guest house, which she activated and equipped to be functional by installing television sets, wardrobes, and solar lights. This is the college clinic, receiving total renovation under the Lemchi administration. New doors, new windows, tiling, etc.
In this place, you can see a lot of changes, some innovations in this place to give the medical center a facelift. As part of the numerous things our indefatigable provost is doing to reshape and put this place in top gear as a place of high level. Changes in the windows, doors, tiling. It's going to be a total uplift and rejigging of the place. We feel so happy. We feel excited. We feel at rest. We feel remembered. Yes. We have a great sense of belonging. It's been a long time. Successive administrations have had it as a dream to bring changes here over the years. Many plans upon plans upon plans. It's not been today, but this is the first time we're having a real change, a paradigm shift, a palpable, identifiable shift that all can see, not just staff, but every other person, not just the staff working here, but other people, students and all can identify with. This is the first time in a long, long time.
Why time may not allow this documentarian to reel out all the achievements, suffice it to mention that the provost, under the first year in review, has laid the foundation of the college bakery and procured all necessary equipment for it, and has refurbished the long-abandoned college tipper truck, thereby activating it for IGR.
This truck has been abandoned for about 8 years now without moving. But now our amiable provost saw the reason of making this truck to work so that we can use it to generate IGR for the college. So you can now see that the truck is now, they have started the truck and is about to move. We thank God for her good brain in trying to revive the truck.
A fervent advocate of entrepreneurship, the provost spearheaded the rejigging, rebranding and expansion of Alvan table water factory. This she achieved through the redesigning of the bottle to give a fresh and alluring look, posting of experts to ensure quality control, to opening a table water depot in the Share Camp area to enhance distribution, and creating a promotional jingle for the Alvan table water.
This is why Alvan Table and Sachet Water presents you with the vivid picture of a well-sterilized, ozonized water produced.
This jingle runs on Orient FM and other stations.
Having served as a deputy provost, I've been part of administration, the management. I noticed that the water factory wasn't doing well at all. And then people were complaining about the shape of our bottle and irregularity in production. So when I came on board, I appointed a new director for that section. That's something we say about putting a square peg in a square hole. And I want to tell you, the new director has been very wonderful. And then we also gave her the assignment of getting a different bottle packaging for our water. And she stood up to that task, and today we have the newly packaged 75 cl bottle with different color, label, everything.
This water will be searched for from all the corners of Imo State and beyond. That's our prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Dr. Lemchi's motherly care for the students and her unwavering commitment to their success further manifested in the clearing of the backlog of NYSC mobilization and thus empowering thousands of Alvan graduates to embark on their long-expected one-year national service. A gesture these core members, their parents, and the school community cannot forget in a hurry.
The Batch B are already on their way to NYSC camp, and we are also hoping that another batch will be moving by November, all courtesy of the new provost, Dr. Mrs. Stella Lemchi.
Issue of service. I think this is the first time Alvan is going for service twice in a year. I think the batch B and hopefully the batch C. So this is the first time, and this has been a very critical issue facing the students, and the students has so much complained about it, staying for 2 years before service. So the relationship geared the listening of the glamourance. So if I'm to say, the management has listened because this is a critical issue and they have provided possible solution to it.
For the first time in about 5 years, our students are going for NYSC, are being mobilized by this time of the year, because in the past it used to be November, December. Sometimes they miss the opportunity, and further to that, we're even planning now. Now these ones have been mobilized. There's another set that is outstanding, one more set. We're also trying to get the UNN team to come before the end of this month, or maybe early September, to come and also process those people's results, so that if those people are mobilized for November batch, that means we don't have any outstanding again. We would have cleared all our standing, and honestly that would have been very, very good for the college. The students are very happy. They've been calling me for the camp, and I'm just happy, honestly.
Over the years, the seeming mutual distrust between the college and its host communities has been a source of concern. However, since taking the mantle as the substantive provost, Dr. Lemchi has left nothing to chance in fostering purposeful interaction with the host communities, bridging gaps and strengthening relationship. This is evident in the several engagements her management has had with the host communities, including meetings with traditional rulers in their palaces.
In a short while, she has demonstrated, excellence in that school already. So what are we now looking for? The understanding is there. She promised us our, quota in admission and other things. So what are we now looking for? That is somebody that we are, we are very, very close, very, very close, very, very, unassuming. Then anytime we want to interact with her, we fix the appointment and interact with her, a way forward to make Alvan a very big school, university.
Being as much concerned as the entire Alvan community and well-meaning Imo people about the forceful takeover of Alvan land by the Okorocha administration, the Lemchi management spared no effort in re-engaging the 3R administration of Senator Hope Uzodimma on the issue. That effort translated to the recent report of the Committee on the Recovery of Alvan Federal College of Education land, which indicted former Governor Rochas Okorocha for using brute force to dispossess the college of his land.
Over 101 buildings were destroyed, and the land taken over from the college and sold to individuals. But the present provost of the college, Dr. Mrs. Lemchi, has really tried and trying to recover the lands from those who encroached into our land.
Panel was headed by the alumni rep of the council, Professor Petalisa Jumbe. And then at the end of that investigation, they went to submit their report to the governor. And that was the report that has been making rounds in the news. Yeah. They really discovered that Alvan land had been depleted, particularly during the last administration. And then if the land is not restored back to Alvan, honestly speaking, it will be difficult for us to have space to develop the new university. Yeah, so that's why the land needs to be, restored so that we can have space to develop faculties and other, very essential buildings for the university.
The provost did not leave that. Before the panel report came out, the provost has also instituted another panel with the commissioner of land. And that panel is on course with going through all Alvan land to know those that were wrongly taken and those that were rightfully taken. And we have gone all around Alvan land, and the ministry have really seen that many people encroached into Alvan land because of maybe their connection with previous government. And for now, I can tell you this is the first time Alvan is going to court about their land. Since I came to Alvan over 10 years ago, there is no court issue. There is no court case Alvan have instituted against any encroacher or any trespasser. But Dr. Lemchi have done well by going to court because the
recent pronouncement of the college as a federal university of education is an eloquent testament to the provost's dogged and painstaking collaboration with the education-loving Imo State Governor, Senator Hope Uzodimma, for the return of the institution's university status. To both the students and the lecturers, this is one achievement too many.
In the aspect of the university status, she has done noble by making sure that working hand in glove with the government to make sure that the university status was achieved, and it has been achieved. We are just waiting for the pronouncement.
She didn't waste time in making it known to the college community that she's here to see the best way to ensure that the college is upgraded to a university. She pursued it, and within not more than about 10 months of her tenure, the federal government, via Federal Ministry of Education, gave us a letter, lifting the ban placed on the college and then upgrading the college to a federal university of education.
Down here, our people don't want to do NCE again. So we fight and we struggle to get students to run the NCE program, but they're not interested. So if we continue, we'll just be out of business very soon. So I ran to some stakeholders to help us. And thank God, our state governor, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, took it upon himself, and honestly speaking, he worked so hard and got a presidential approval for the restoration of that status. Right now, we are working on it and believing that every T will be crossed and every I will be dotted so that the university will take off immediately. The federal government has set up an assessment team that visited all the 4 colleges. Yeah, they were in Alvan, last month, and then we cooperated with them, gave them all the information they wanted, and they were really impressed. They were really impressed with the college.
No doubt, the provost couldn't have done all this alone, as she punctuates every of her comments, addresses and speeches with a first-person plural, we, an indication that she carries her management along in decision-making issues.
I don't hold brief for anybody, but for me, the management have done so much to create an atmosphere of unity of purpose, to drive the project, the Alvan project.
Administratively, she's an astute administrator. She has shown capacity to pilot effectively the administration of this college and take it to the next level. And welfare also, she has also made sure that the welfare of staff are taken very seriously. So much so that, to the best of my knowledge, almost everything that is being owed, the staff, to a very large extent, she had made sure that the staff got that. And she's still not relenting.
Before she came on board, this college, the staff were being owed almost about 4 years arrears of their promotions. 2017, promotion arrears, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, promotion arrears. With her coming on board, in less than 7 months or 6 months, the new provost had a connection with the Abuja, went to Federal Ministry of Finance, liaised with the Accountant General, liaised with the IPs. In less than 7 months, the arrears of 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021 have been released, and this range to billions of naira.
Dr. Lemchi runs an all-inclusive administration, which ultimately attracts to her the full support of all her principal officers, the student union government, and indeed the students at large.
She's always there to assist when you go there to look for 1 or 2 advice she will give to us. And also in the aspect of the students, she can always say that any students that have issues can easily come to the office. She's very accessible. So in all these things that she's doing, there's a cordial relationship. Even she finds this more easy relating with us to know what is happening between the students and the lecturers.
What is more, the management, lecturers, students' relationship is second to none.
We've been experiencing this co-relationship and fairness. Yes, when you have issues, it is very easy to meet up with your lecturer to say, sir, look at where it is paining me, and then they look into the issue. Well, that's one good thing there. They don't really leave you to go like that, but then they look at what problem you are having, and then they give solution to it.
I think the reason we are here is the students. If the students are not here, I don't think I'll be here. So I make it very clear to my colleagues at any point in time that these students are the major reason we are here. They are our children. I have children. I have 2 children in university, other places. I don't think anything I wouldn't want anybody to do to my child, I wouldn't want to do to anybody's child. So I really feel bad when I hear that students are being molested, extorted, maltreated. Actually, the students have seen that their welfare is my priority. They've seen it, I've shown it everything, so we don't have any problem with them, honestly. It's been a very smooth, relationship.
My executive and the students, they can attest to that she's very open to all. Even if you cannot get her on phone, once you have her number, you chat her on WhatsApp, she will be there to respond to you, anything that is happening. Even when we are having a problem in the light issue, when we had transformer issue that wanted to cause some chaos in the school, she was there. She also made sure. Currently, we have a new transformer. So she has done many things in the aspect of students and in the management as well. Even the lecturers are attesting to that.
And she has also instilled a culture of commitment and service. And these people come to work, looking forward to a brighter day. No longer lackadaisically, or at least there is that paradigm shift in the work ethics of staff, as it were.
One thing I love about the provost and her administration is that she has this restoration, the restoration of the glory that used to be Alvan, which over the years may have been lost as a result of changes in administration. But so far, the restoration is coming, and let's take this our teaching practice for example. In the past, some directors who have been in charge have made it a bit difficult for students to have effective teaching practice. Sometimes they are posted to schools, sometimes they are not even posted, and a lot of sharp practices have been noticed in the past, and that was why the provost said no, this directorate is very, very necessary.
But if we have done all this, that some striking challenges
What have been the challenges so far?
Well, sometimes some people might think that the only challenge we have is finance, funds. That one is a constant factor. But the greatest challenge you have in this kind of system is that people that are used to diverting funds for their own personal interest, when you want to do the right thing, they will rise up against you. So sometimes, as you are trying to, even sacrifice to make sure the place goes forward, the people around you might be thinking you're stepping or blocking the opportunity to eat. Because you tell staff, look at these things we do. If you're applying for something that you can do with 150,000, for instance, you bloat it to get to 199,000 something. And I don't know, maybe because of my own training as a home economist, I have a fair idea of most of the things. So by the time you bring it to my table, I will just make a call and tell you this thing is 50,000. Why are you writing 90,000? This one is this one. Before you know it, I will just tell you, go and correct this and bring. I will approve the correct amount for you. But people don't want it. So it's a major challenge. But I don't look at that kind of challenge. I still try to instill that culture of discipline. Because you have to be disciplined for you to look at money and not want to take it, but use it to do the right thing. So I keep on pleading with them to, if you're working, yes, there are benefits that accrue to that office. Make do with that. Don't try to stifle the institution because you want to enrich yourself. And then at the end, nothing is done. You can't get anything reasonable done. I don't work like that. So that's a challenge.
Notably, the first 1 year of Dr. Mrs. Stella Ngozi Lemchi as the Provost of Alvan Federal College of Education has been as action-packed as it is remarkable.
This is just the morning of her reign, and insofar as she has started it with God-fearing attitude, with due process, making sure that the people who are supposed to be in positions are put in the right place. The sky will be her stepping stone.
So we are hoping and praying that God will continue to sustain her to ensure that this college still continue to move higher and higher, strength to strength, under the watch of the new provost, Mrs. Stella Ngozi.
And my prayer all this while, if this school later becomes the university officially, I pray she will also become our VC. I would love that. I would love that as an SUG president, because she will now have all it takes to give us what we want as a sitting provost, and she knows where it's paining us. She knows where we are having difficulties. At least she can be there to address everything that is happening. That is my earnest prayer.
My very prayer to my provost and her team of management is that the good Lord keep giving her the wisdom of mind to keep doing the good things that she has already started doing, and to count more to her budget and to her ideas, because I believe all these works, all these beautiful things that we are seeing in this institution are as a result of ideas sprung out of her. So I pray that the Almighty God keep giving her this wisdom.
To many, her transformative leadership has set the stage for a brighter future, thus empowering and propelling generations of students to dream beyond their limits. To God be the glory.